Twin Falls, Idaho. We're here. Anchor Bistro. And maybe, who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to look back when all's said and done and remember where it all started. It was between gigs in Twin Falls and Moab when it started to really hit me. The tour I was on was draining and nowhere near worthwhile. And the 5 years before that were pretty much the same. It ain't Red Rocks. It ain't Red Rocks now. What is what we got? We hear a lot about the bands who grind their way to stardom, but for those who grind their way to anonymity, it's its own kind of defeat. It was time to sit with the music that had long been swirling in my head, but I couldn't give my every waking minute to it anymore either. I needed an outlet, a complete 180. And it wasn't too long after that when I found myself strapped into a roller coaster, heading up that lift hill and remembering a feeling I had long forgotten. That feeling would end up carrying me through the next chapter. Taking the chance to finally live out a dream dating back to my days of browsing the early 2000s roller coaster internet forums. And on my own, no less. Far from home in more ways than one. But the dream wouldn't have resurfaced without a nudge from my backyard. The sight of that first roller coaster ride in perhaps a decade, setting the stage for renewed enthusiasm and creative rejuvenation. So much I was neglecting in my local region, an abundance of riches ignored in favor of less rewarding distractions. Work takes me by here all the time. What if I took the time to stop? once I started listening to that instinct, it began threading itself into the rest of my life, compounding into more goals, a longer bucket list. How can I dive in deeper? For all of the fatigue and frustration during a long creative process, one nobody's really asking for, but one that I need to see to completion nonetheless. A place like this helps me see the full, completed vision. Walking within a completed yet ever-evolving work of art helps guide my own creative energy during this chapter of my life. Writing, scrapping, retooling, waiting on collaborators, waiting and waiting. I can let it all go here and come back to this feeling the next time I get stuck. Somehow, this outlet kept me balanced and carried me across the finish line. That's why I kept coming back. One time for the underdogs, all the square pegs, never quite fitting in and couldn't care less.